session led by the former Indonesian Minister of Trade and Industry, Gita Wirjawan, who talked about the daunting challenges faced by Southeast Asian countries. Shortly, we're about to cap this two-day forum with what I'm sure will be an insightful and inspirational closing keynote address by one of the most sought-after local speakers in the country today. I've been given the task of introducing our closing keynote address, but I was reluctant to do so because I was just informed only this afternoon. Because I was concerned I may not do justice to somebody who I greatly admire and respect. But anyway, our incoming chairman of the board of the RBR Center said, "Joey, this is your show. You gotta do it." So here I am doing this. Jaime Augusto Zobel de Ayala, or JAZA as it's known to his friends and colleagues in the Ayala Group, serves as chairman of Ayala Corporation, one of the Philippines' largest and oldest conglomerates with nearly two centuries of business leadership. Mr. Zobel de Ayala leads the company through a pivotal period of modernization and expansion. He transformed Ayala into a diversified holding company with strategic investments across critical sectors of the Philippine economy. Under his leadership, Ayala Corporation has expanded its portfolio to include real estate, banking, telecommunications, water infrastructure, industrial technologies, power generation, healthcare, retail, and education. By the way, JAZA has been chairman or chief executive officer of Ayala for more than 30 years, the longest tenure by any Ayala chief executive officer. Outside the Ayala Group, he is a member of various business and social civic organizations in the Philippines and abroad. He is a member of the board of directors of Temasek Holdings, JP Morgan International Council, JP Morgan Asia Pacific Council, Mitsubishi Corporation International Advisory Council. I believe also he's been one of the longest serving members of Global Leadership Council. JAZA's contributions to business leadership and sustainable development have earned him numerous accolades. He was awarded the Presidential Medal of Merit in 2009, the Philippines Legion of Honor with rank of Grand Commander in 2010, and the Order of Mabini with rank of Commander 2015 by the President of the Philippines. In 2017, JAZA was named the United Nations Global Compact as one by the United Nations Global Compact as one of 10 Sustainable Development Goals, or SDG pioneers, recognizing this pioneering work in integrating sustainability and business strategy and operations. He has anchored Ayala's sustainability goals around all the 17 UN SDG goals, driving innovation to reach wider market segments with businesses that balance quality, affordability, and social impact. He is known for his innovative entrepreneurial leadership that has strengthened Ayala and contributed to inclusive economic development in the Philippines. Through strategic vision and a strong commitment to sustainability and social impact, Jaime Augusto Zobel de Ayala has become one of Asia's most respected business leaders. Ladies and gentlemen, our closing keynote advisor, Mr. Jaime Zobel de Ayala.
Julie, for the very generous introduction. Really appreciate it. To all the other guests at the table with me, Chief Justice Pangaliban. We both work out at 5:30 a.m. most mornings. We run into each other there. Brother Bernie Oka, pleasure to see you again. And of course, I am President of Dean Jikioka. Always a pleasure to be here with this initiative that's been going on for some time now on enterprise and society, something that means a great deal to me. But congratulations, Joy and Jikyo, and the rest of your team at the Asian Institute of Management for once again mounting this forum. I know the kind of work it takes, but so relevant to what we need in the country at this time. Thank you. We share the belief within our group that enterprises have a social responsibility alongside their fiduciary duty to their customers, business partners, and shareholders, and this is something we hold dear within the Ayala Group. Thank you also for this opportunity to close this two-day gathering and share thoughts on how our respected institutions can move forward amid global challenges. Individual organizations can choose to face these challenges alone, but that would limit the good that we can do. A more attractive alternative is to come together and learn from each other, just as we have done over the last couple of days in this fabulous gathering. We have been privileged to have heard the former United Nations Secretary General, Mr. Ban Ki-moon, speak about the journey to rally the entire world, including the private sector, around the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. Objectives which I have to say I really deeply believe in. I've just come from a conference with the Global Compact Network Philippines this morning, also talking about these initiatives. But I love the words that the Secretary General used, and to quote from him, global citizenship and solidarity with each other. Really, we need so much more cooperation taking place in the world rather than just going at it alone. We were likewise finding ways to move forward faster with the SDGs, considering that there are less than 5 years left to achieve the commitments that we all made some time back. At this gathering, you have had insightful discussions about navigating global disruption strategically, confronting the possibilities of artificial intelligence, turning to nature for climate solutions, charting next steps for inclusivity, boosting the robustness of our supply chains, affirming education's importance to our future and the need to collaborate to solving our learning crisis, enabling micro-entrepreneurs to become new growth drivers, and of course, unleashing the productive potential of microfinancing, which we just heard from a number of great individuals just now. The topics covered are diverse, but there are golden threads that tie together all the sessions of this forum. Allow me to suggest a few and offer some examples from our own experiences at Ayala, and likewise using the platform of private enterprise for meaningful impact in our societies. First, when enterprises pursue a purpose beyond mere short-term profits, that is when they can most effectively navigate disruptions and possibly contribute to the most of the greater good. We believe enterprises should take time to clarify their purpose, their role in their communities, and the goals that they want to achieve. At Ayala, our corporate purpose remains core to our operations. It is the North Star for the strategies that we implement, the opportunities we pursue, and the culture that we seek to build. Earlier this year, we launched the results of a purpose refresh, a roughly 1.5-year process that demanded close involvement of senior leaders and executives at its formulation phase, which now requires the continuous engagement of all employees in the group. Through this process, we established that the purpose of Ayala is to build businesses that enable people to thrive. By clarifying this purpose, we gained a clearer picture of the investments we wanted to pursue and how we wanted to harness these opportunities. Such clarity in helping us zero in on our work to drive sustainability. By asking ourselves if our businesses help ordinary Filipinos or also our customers, we view corporate sustainability through the lens of understanding how we impact and how dependent we are on all our host communities. This thinking, adapted from the World Business Council for Sustainable Development, likewise calls to mind the principle of creating shared value by Harvard professors Michael Porter and Mark Kramer, where businesses should work on creating economic opportunities in a way that also addresses society's biggest needs, challenges, and pain points. Fundamentally, we remain a profit-driven business, but for us, operating with sustainability is now not just based on moral imperatives, but it's also a pathway to long-term value creation and commercial resilience. We believe that businesses should inject as much scientific rigor, acumen, and rationality as possible into thinking about sustainability, much in the same way for other disciplines like risk management, talent planning, or internal auditing. We remain concerned with materiality assessments, carbon emissions, and human rights impacts, and how they inevitably affect our balance sheets and our profit margins. London Business School professor Alex Edmonds calls this the rational sustainability. This brings us to another common thread across the forum sessions, the importance of action. Ideas remain ideas without action. It's not enough to know thyself. One also needs to work on becoming oneself. Whether you think of it as walking the talk, putting our money where our mouth is, or rolling up our sleeves and getting our hands dirty, the primary point is follow through. One needs to work doggedly to bring life, their purpose, and values. That's easier said than done, and there will always be challenges and roadblocks in all our lives. But that's where a clear understanding of one's purpose is always critical. It helps with navigating the disruptions, focusing on what's truly important, and deciding on the courses of action that we should all take. Our experience bears this out. When we started ASEN as our energy arm, for example, in 2012, our initial investments included thermal assets. We believed, however, that transitioning to renewable energy was crucial for more future Filipinos to thrive. Hence, we worked hard to become leaders in the just energy transition. Today, with up to 7 gigawatts of attributable renewable capacity, ASEN is now one of the fastest growing RE companies in the region. With operations in India, Vietnam, Laos, Indonesia, Australia, and of course the Philippines, ASEN is aiming to grow its renewable capacity to 20 gigawatts by 2030. In 2022, ASEN also completed the world's first market-based energy transition mechanism, which will allow it to retire a 246 megawatt coal plant by 2040, several years before the end of its technical life. In 2023, they entered a partnership with the Rockefeller Foundation and the Monetary Authority of Singapore to accelerate the power plant's decommissioning by 10 years through transition credits. If successful, this transaction will be the first of its kind in our region. The story is similar to another member of our group, AC Mobility. Formerly AC Motors, AC Mobility is shifting from a business focused on selling automotives to one committed to becoming an end-to-end mobility provider. We believe the Philippines needed to transition to electric mobility and other new energy vehicles to reduce carbon emissions and its general dependence on foreign-sourced oil. There was the opportunity to build a business that could provide value throughout the ecosystem of this transition, from the vehicles to the infrastructure to the services and digital platforms that connect everything together. We're bringing the weight of the entire Ayala Group to this endeavor, with AFES providing the energy for some of the charging stations, many of which are within Ayala Land facilities. Globe Telecom was instrumental in developing the EVRO app that access these charging points. We're delighted that the fundamentals of this business remain sound. According to a 2024 Bloomberg report, global investments in electric transport amounted to 757 billion US dollars in the last period of time. AC's mobility performance tracks this potential very clearly. We delivered over 20,000 units in the first half of 2025, more than doubling its performance during the same period last year. It now holds an 8% industry share and around an 80% market share for new energy vehicles through its partnership with BYD. It also owns and operates the largest and most utilized charging network in the country, with over 239 charging points, and is aspiring to hit 700 charging points by the end of this year in over 100 locations nationwide. The third theme pertains to the idea of relevance. It's crucial that enterprises keep themselves attuned to the pain points and aspirations, not only of their customers and shareholders, but also society at large. Enterprises ought to reflect that if they remain true to their purpose and ensure that their purpose remains responsive to the times, and of course pivot as needed. By helping communities solve pain points and realize aspirations, enterprises engender trust and confidence while providing more fuel for the economy's expansion. As mentioned, this redounds further to long-term value and resilience. And this issue of trust is fundamentally important to the private sector. The capitalist system globally has undergone many shifts and changes. But if we don't create a system that adds value and builds trust in society by adjusting to the development needs of a country, then we don't have a capitalist system that will succeed long-term. And that's something we firmly believe in within the Ayala Group. So that on this last point about relevance, allow me to speak about some of the country's more difficult and, as they call them, wicked challenges that I hope we as a community can come together on and help solve. One such challenge is healthcare. 6 out of 10 Filipinos reportedly die each year without seeing a doctor or medical professional, while our doctor and nurse-to-patient numbers fall woefully below the WHO standards. There are many factors explaining this, including underinvestment in the industry, but costs are among the foremost. In 2023, Filipino households paid 550 billion pesos out of their own pockets for medical bills and medicines, accounting for up to 44.4% of the country's current health expenditures for the same year. Among ASEAN, the Philippines ranks third highest in terms of out-of-pocket payments as a percentage of current health expenditures, surpassed by only Myanmar and Cambodia. This is a problem that our own AC Health within our group hopes to tackle. By growing an integrated healthcare platform of hospitals, pharmacies, and clinics, the aim is to provide accessible, affordable, and quality healthcare for Filipinos. I believe we need more partners and institutions contributing to this vital space, although, of course, there are many in this area already, but we need many more. Another difficult problem, of course, is education, nothing new to all of us here. According to the Second Congressional Commission on Education, the number of functionally illiterate Filipinos has ballooned to 24.8 million as of 2024. We still have problems with the growing cohort of educated unemployed. Citing 2025 Labor Force Survey data, former Socioeconomic Planning Secretary Ciel Habito wrote earlier this year that college graduates now count for the single largest segment of our unemployed by educational status. While this speaks about the kind of jobs created by our economy today, it also points to the quality of higher education offered by universities. We're working together with the Uchenko Group, this is the Ayala Group, to tackle this through iPeople. One promising initiative is the expansion of its partnership with leading online education provider, Coursera, towards providing industry-recognized skills, micro-credentials, and AI-powered learning up to 45,000 learners annually within our group. Today, iPeople is among Coursera's for campus top 3 customers globally. We're also trying to harness philanthropic capital in this challenge. As we heard earlier, the Ayala Foundation, Khan Academy Philippines, the Department of Education, the Education Development Center, and other Ayala BUs have piloted digital learning tools for teachers and students. By adopting a high-touch, high-tech approach, we train elementary school teachers on pedagogical foundations to integrate adaptive technologies into their practice while staying rooted in learn-centered, inclusive, and reflective instruction. The results are actually all quite promising. Our pilots have shown that in just 12 weeks of intervention, students have doubled their math scores and have shown improvement of 13.8 percentage points against control schools in the same district. I hope we, especially here in the Philippines, can make a mark in our own educational and healthcare challenges. We pride ourselves in our human capital and the talent of the Filipino, but we stand to lose much if our people are barred from opportunities to thrive simply because they're sickly or poorly educated. To close these golden threads, awareness of one's purpose, putting purpose to action, and staying relevant demand us to expand our definition of what business enterprises are, their general purpose, and the functions they serve to the development of our society. Fundamentally, this involves seeing ourselves and each other as potential partners, all of us in this room. While there's nothing wrong with competition, a lot more can be achieved when we all work together for common causes. Let that be the clarion call that we all answer amid the disruptions that we face. And that, I think, the contributions of AIM in a gathering like this is very much in keeping with that. Again, thank you for the opportunity to close this esteemed forum. Let us all work together towards building a better, more prosperous society, and where more of our countrymen are enabled to thrive. A pleasant good afternoon to all of you. Thanks again for the opportunity.
Please stay on stage for our commemorative program. We can hang out along with Ambassador Joey.